images, it turned out to be a mega capacity game, and therefore we had to choose the CD-ROM as our media. In other words, we became too aggressive and got ourselves into trouble.
The most significant difference to us was capacity. Before, we were given restrictions in capacity, so we had to create one basic model and fiddle around with it, making players believe there were variations. It was a good way to become resourceful in limited circumstances. But on the CD-ROM, that restriction was completely taken away, and we didn't have to worry about various ways of modifying one basic model. If we needed 100 models, we could create each of them from scratch. The basic concept you have when creating RPGs is to imitate the real world and create a fictional world within the game. We have followed that concept in previous versions of this series, but technically, we had to use one basic model in different ways, or use a world symbolized specifically for game use. Now it is much easier for us to achieve our original goal. We can now express more of the real world in the game. The number of simultaneous music output channels used to be 8 in the Super NES. Now it's 24. We leave 8 of them open for sound effects, so we have 16 to use for the actual music. That adds a lot of richness to the music. For example, when you hit the piano keys with both of your hands, you get 10 notes at once, and you won't be able to create that kind of a sound on Super NES. Suppose we create that piano-type sound with 10 notes, and you still have 6 notes left. This means you can fit in sounds of other instruments, and this certainly adds complexity to the game.
ですね、今回に関してもコンピュータグラフィックスの技術っていうのを2通りのパターンとしてゲーム中に
We were able to use 2 types of CG technology in this game. One is the movie technology, where you create motion pictures using CG software and store it on CD-ROM. The other is polygon-based technology, where you create 3D objects and make them move. It is amazing to see new images being generated one after another, and all being played smoothly on the game console. You realize how powerful current technology is. Thanks to CD-ROM, cinematic expressions which were impossible in the past have become available. For example, we can now show close-ups on characters' faces, and using various camera angles, the game screen is no longer a stage-like space. However, movies can be seen in movie theaters. In order to make this thing attractive to game players, we tried hard to put playable elements in the scenarios. We made it so players will not have to follow our pace.
Cyberpunks are many things. One thing they all have in common is the delight taken in the use of advanced technology against those who would try to restrict, direct, or control.
All right, let's man, fuck it. Let's get into it. Booyah! Ah, makes me feel so good to go back to a streaming setup that fucking works. But that's the point of what we're doing now. So I got the piece of shit down there. I got a new motherboard. So we're gonna have to do some surgery, which I guess is gonna be a more interesting build stream because it's not so typical. I'm gonna have to remove the heatsink CPU and all the parts, swap out the motherboards, and put them all back in. So it's kind of like what I did before, except harder, and I had to do the whole thing in reverse first. Also, my screwdriver is not here, and that's kind of the one tool I need, so I'll be right back. As you can see, we're still not even done moving in. We got this table of shit back here, but whatever. Alright. Chair. Yeah, I don't really do that much, huh? Just get up and leave. I'm always at a BRB loop or something. So yeah, chair stream for a little bit. I ran into a bit of a problem. Having Wi-Fi lights is cool and all, but if you're not near your phone, it's hard to get emergency light. So I had to think fast. Oh wait, hold on. All right. Here's this guy. There's a door fan that's plugged in right now. Get to pop that fucker off. I guess I technically don't have to, but it's connected to some shit that is connected to stuff. Stuff? Is it? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Plus, at some point, it's going to slide off. It's going to hit me in the foot. And then it's going to break. And then it'll break something else. And then it'll, like, I don't know, roll through a window. So yeah, computer. I can angle it down even more. I don't know if this is going to be worth it or not. But yeah, fuck it, man. Computer guts. They're neat. So yeah, I got to take everything out. I should probably just disconnect all the power first. So I'll do that. So to retrace the steps of why this is going on. Turns out that I underestimated the system intensity involved with bringing in a video signal. Because this card does nothing other than accept a video signal and then throw it onto your computer to encode. And to go out to the internet, it has to be encoded. So as a streaming machine, it's like, you actually need a lot of guts to be able to process that signal and get it out to the internet. Especially if you're processing it twice, which is what I'm doing. Or trying to do. For the sake of chords, I'm just gonna pull these out. Just to have more room. Oh, there's a tab. It always scares me when there's a slightly firm cable, because what ends up happening is you grab it with your very delicate, waif-like video game hands. You pull on it really hard, and then you end up yanking it, and then you drag your hand across a sharp edge. There are several of them. Fuck, what's going on here? Oh, fuck. Jess has got a... Oh, no. Jess has a 3 fucking year resub. Damn. I'm trying to think of what the perfect song would be. I mean, I know some good ones. Let's see here. Console main? Console mains are special. Hold on. Sorry guys, I'm doing some twisty typing. This feels right to me. So I'm gonna play this. I hope that it's fitting. I'm losing all my tabs here. Okay. That was actually pretty well timed. All right. Damn, that is a fucking jam. For all ages. Oh, you don't know Neon Genesis Evangelion? You might have just heard it somewhere else. It finds its way into things. It's kind of like Tank, the opening to Cowboy Bebop. I haven't heard a whole lot of like openings from Naruto, which is something I kind of would have expected to make its rounds, or even One Piece for that matter. Maybe I'm just not watching it anymore, or I'm not watching the things that would have those in them. Didn't Shinji masturbate on a passed out girl? It's heavily implied, but that's in the movie. And oddly, I haven't even seen that. But Jess, no, I'm glad you feel rewarded. You have no reason to give money to me. Not needed at all. But if you want to, you get songs for it, and they should be meaningful. All right. I also realized I put this thing in upside down. Doesn't technically matter. That's also why I was having such trouble mounting it the first time. Looking like a snack, yeah. This is my best angle, turns out. Just head down to a crotch full of computer. So most of the unplugging is done. Oh right, there's one very important thing I haven't done yet. I should do that before I... No, I actually should do it after. So I have to take the heatsink off, then I have to take the CPU off. And I have to then put it on the new motherboard without touching the top of it. Because under the stock, a heatsink are stripes of thermal paste. And if I touch the top of it, I'll smudge it, I'll get hand oil on it. It'll reduce its efficiency. But I have to like release the tension by screwing these tabs that'll like make them pop up, and then sometimes under you have to pinch like two plastic prongs together to get it to come back up through the motherboard. These are weird tricks of the trade, I guess. Point being, even if you pop the like little retention knobs on these things, you still sometimes can't get it off the board. So that's exciting. It's really exciting stuff. You broke one? Oh, I should realize sometimes I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Or that it's sometimes really asynchronous to whatever I'm rambling on about. Unless, Titan, you actually mean one of these guys. In which case maybe it's not as behind as I thought. So yeah, I also it's weird you just kind of get a feeling for things. I was on not as good internet for a while. It was okay. Oh, you do? Okay, tight. Good. So I wasn't able to stream in low latency mode to Twitch, but now I am. Rather, it seems pretty solid. It'll like waver a couple times, but it never actually like loses frames, which the old internet would drop packets like crazy. So chat is actually a lot more responsive. So the construction of these clips is actually really fascinating to me because it's really smart engineering. Here, let me show you. So if you you can see that. It's basically like a plastic, almost like a drywall anchor. It's two little plastic hooks on the end of an arrow, and then when this black part pushes through it, it forces them apart. And the black part is held down, which makes the things go apart, by this mechanism. So the black thing that pushes the pin through goes down until a black part here clicks in on the whiter clear plastic on the top. And once they do that, it's two parts that are clipped together that do an amazing job retaining or holding the fan against the CPU. And back in the day, it was like screws or nuts and bolts. Screws you could strip, and people often did because it had to be really like hard on there. Or nuts and bolts require you to like hold a fucking socket wrench on the bottom and like wrench it on the top. That's a lot of tools to have around relatively delicate hardware. Jesus, what are we doing here? Portal 2. I don't understand packets or packet loss at all. Can you explain it a bit? I would be delighted, Cyber Dragon. Data on the internet is sent in packets, in bursts. It's not sent in like a clear stream. So it's easy to think like electricity, like there's just a flow. but instead it's more like FedEx boxes of data. The data arrives somewhere and it's a chunk of a file or a chunk of video, and then the like address on that chunk tells it where to go, and that's routing all the way from where it's sent all the way to your house. Packet loss is when something along the way drops the box, like it just didn't have time, or the next packages had to be there, if that makes sense. So like streaming video, if I lose one packet of data in the middle of this entire stream, it's just gonna let it go and try and pick back up later. Because if it had to wait for it to be complete, there wouldn't be a stream, and you couldn't miss anything. Like every bit had to be exactly right. So packet loss is when somewhere on your internet chain, could be in your apartment, could be a node somewhere that's overloaded, the data can't make it through in a timely manner. So there you go. I'm gonna see if I can. So the way you're supposed to release the tensions on these is you rotate them, and then the black tab slides out under the white one, and then it releases. Sometimes you can do it by hand. It's got a slot in the top, so you can use a flathead screwdriver, but I don't have one next to my desk. So, okay, no, this isn't bad at all. Didn't want to give you guys more chair cam. What's up, Oreo? Buff Muffins, thank you. I mean, this is a little, I guess this is actually kind of normal, but I was gonna say, I biked a shitload today, so I might be a little more jacked up than usual. Alright. So now I'm pulling all the black shits up. And now, sometimes you can just kind of use your fingers to squeeze the white parts together so they fit back out. So sexual. This is all in service of me trying to, I think I can return the motherboard? I have the box and the parts, so it should be good. I just don't know how fast and loose Newegg's gonna play. So yeah, you can see there were stripes before, but when you push it down, it kind of flattens out over the surface of the CPU and the bottom of the heatsink. Now I need to like pre-game a little bit. Where am I gonna put the CPU when I take it off? I can just put it on the other motherboard. I should have waited, because now this is going to be exposed to the air for a little bit, but that is really not that big of a deal, I don't think. So here's the other motherboard. Not liquid cooled? It's not necessary. With the modern Intel processors, they put off an extremely little amount of heat. Put it on anti-static material, it'll be alright. People get really paranoid about static. I've never had it be a problem. I mean, it's like, everyone goes off and on about that, like, oh, wear a grounding bracelet, all that stuff. I can understand how that stuff is like just best practice that people have picked up and taught to each other, but I never did it, and it's never been a problem for me. And until it is, I'm just not going to worry about it too much. I'll be willing to eat my words the second I fucking burn something out. Yeah, that's right, full slam. 2 motherboards, dog. This is Pro Tech Central. All right. Let's see here. I'm just gonna see where the notch goes real quick. It's usually always bottom left when you're staring at the thing. But oh, yep, there it is. Okay, easy enough. Also, I'm returning this. Not that I wouldn't try to keep it in good working order. But you know, whatever. Alright. Let's put this down. Okay. That was actually the perfect music for that. There we go. Find the fan. Don't think that'll reach, actually. Yeah, alright. A little more room. I'll put that up later. Wait, now I'm... Yeah, always have to be rotated. So, given that I rotated them earlier to release the tension on them, I have to rotate them back so the clip will catch again. And also, since they've been wedged apart already, sometimes they don't fit neatly into the holes, but that's pretty good. And now, time to click, click. God, that shit is so much easier than it used to be. Fuck. Alright, well, that's the most expensive part done. Trying to decide if I want to drop it in the case now or wire, like put the wires in first, or like the RAM and shit. Putting it in the case is wiring it. Let's see here, jumper box is here. Oh, it's got a weird little cowling around it. It's kind of weird. I guess it does prevent it, like banging it or something. I don't know. Anyway, don't touch the back of the Mobo. Who cares? What are you talking about? Those are just solder points. My hand is not going to do shit for that. It's already connected. Man, everybody... This stuff is always interesting to me because everyone has their particular way to do it, you know? Oh, the I/O shield. I forgot. Man, it's funny. I was so boastful about never forgetting about the I/O shield, and now I've done it twice. Oh, shit. Oh! Oathkeeper Oblivion. Thanks for that 2-month price up, dude. Let me pull up a song for you. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to replace the CPU clip on the old motherboard so the pins don't get fucked up. As a courtesy to whatever dude might happen to get this, if anyone does a site related. There we go. Yo, is that Super Mario RPG? Now that's a game I want to replay. But, you know, time. You ever want to just like buy time, you know? Just spend money and get another weekday or a weekend day. I'd do that. I think a lot of people would. Alright. Yes, I/O shield. Wait, there was one other thing I was gonna... who cares? Oh, Zaxby. Thank you. That somehow reminded me that I've got a song to play. Thanks, Oathkeeper. See, look. Look at how little I care about the people who give me money. Can't even remember to play songs for them. Can't even do it. Too busy talking about spending money. 'Cause that's all I do. That's all I do. I cash checks and I burn money. So the trick of this is that I can't actually preview anything. Wait, yes I can. Hold up, I got it. Oh. This should wait. Yeah, bud. Alright, hold on. If I do... gotta do this. Okay, there we go. And then this. Ah, shit! Okay, I got my DJ monitor now. Sorry, I have kind of a different audio setup to make it work with the streaming PC. Yeah, this is the track I thought it was. Okay. It's weird, like, since I listen to albums now, mostly. Like, I'll put on an album and then I'll do something else, or I'll be, like, driving or biking or something. So I'll know that there's something good in an area of an album, but I'll not be sure what the track name is. So sometimes I just have to scrub real quick. But thanks for the money. That's a sweet $5, Oathkeeper. It's the most expensive jukebox you'll ever have because you don't get to pick what plays, but thank you. Anyway, please enjoy this song. That bass line in that fucking song is sick. Oh shit. This is some feels right here. Man. Oh, power math. Interesting phrase. No, bits are not Twitch crypto, though I'm shocked they're not. No, think of it like a carnival if you've ever been to one. Which I didn't mean to sound condescending. I've only been to like 2. Anyway, at a carnival, usually you have to like exchange your money for tickets, and then you buy everything in that carnival with tickets. It's a way to sort of inject themselves into the flow of money, which is what bits are really. They're Twitch bucks. You buy them with money, or you get them by watching ads. So it's like just a currency that's earned on Twitch. And when you cheer bits to somebody, they call it cheer, not tip, I guess, because they didn't want the implication of this being a service industry. That money gets paid out to the streamer. For the streamer, it's 1 cent per bit, so 100 is $1. As far as, like, I think viewers are charged slightly more than that when they buy them, so the take is basically out when somebody buys it, not when it's given. As opposed to a sub, then somebody gives money and then Twitch processes their share on the back end. So it's an interesting sort of inversion of how the money usually flows. And when Twitch decides they get paid, IO Shield, I get that in a new box, which I put a motherboard on top of. This old one needs to go with the old box. Okay. Can take all the cool, rad, fucking elite gamer stickers out. Those are all mine. You bought bits for Overwatch League? Awesome. Guys, and then yeah, Twitch added a high scoreboard to every channel to sort of suss money out of people's wallets. I have to give it up to Twitch in that regard. Valve gamifies stuff so Valve can earn money. And I guess to be fair, they do pay out to developers for trading card purposes, which I do like. That was a cool move on their part. But they pretty much, and I'm not gonna hate for this, they're a fucking awesome business. But Valve pretty much serves Valve, you know. But the high scoreboard stuff, even though it's kind of dumb, it does seem like a thing that's just designed to get streamers more revenue. It's like fun little things that hopefully people don't overspend on. But it's like, it's kind of a unique idea. I wouldn't recommend anyone like spending money just because of placements on a board, but hey, don't let me tell you how to live your life. And don't let that make you think that doing that is a stupid idea either, because you can live however you want. Fuck the man, what's going on? Oh, it's the hard drive tabs. Huzzah. A PC you have become. Not quite yet, but great. Yeah, I forgot this. This screwdriver is slightly magnetic. There we go. So now I gotta put screws through all the holes. That's what she said, nice. Here. This is some intense-ass music. Is it Final Fantasy Tactics? No, Odin Sphere. It's a game I've not thought about in a long time. That game fucking pissed me off. I think Odin Sphere is the only game I've ever broken a controller to. I don't know. I bitch, like I whine like a fucker. I'm not gonna deny that. But I usually don't throw things, and I usually don't get like ragey mad. But Odin Sphere fucked with me. That game got tough as fuck. But, you know, it was really my fault, sort of. I have this, I know that I have this dumb video game behavior. And maybe I guess it's everything behavior, but I tend to be convinced whenever I arrive at any level or challenge, that I have what I need to solve it, or that I can make up for not having a particular thing with skill. So it's like, Dark Souls games are kind of good for my demeanor, because as soon as I arrive at a boss, I'm like, well, I can beat it. I've got invincibility frames, I've got a sword that does any kind of damage. I just have to never get hit, and hit it until it dies. I'd be shocked at how effective that can be, at least for my style of play. I'm not saying it's smart, I'm just saying this is what a behavior pattern I've noticed in myself. So yeah, in Odin Sphere, I remember hitting just one boss that I think it was like a whole evening of just the most rage-inducing buttfucks. And it was, yeah, I remember at one point just standing up and spiraling my PS2 controller into the ground, and it just didn't work after that. But I was able to get another one, so the story had a good ending. Oh, thanks, Adam, for the resub. Hey, Kawhi. GGX sub. What, Guilty Gear? Oh, Greek God. I'm familiar with that. Oh yeah, PC building sim. We were talking about that at work today. I'm trying to think of what order to do this now. So the board is mounted in, the IO shield's placed, all that's good. Might as well clean up a little bit. I'll put the old board in a static bag, put it back in its box, and then get it out of the way. That way it's just eliminating one thing that can break. One less reason for me to, again, whine like a bitch at things that I can prevent. But yeah, with Odin Sphere, I remember, like, at some point that night I was just like, fine, fuck you. And I left that area, like, I didn't give up playing the game. I just left that area and grinded for just, like, 20 minutes. Like, it truly wasn't that long. Just, like, farmed up some potions, some, like, attack up stuff, like, raised my level a couple times. Went back and, like, got the boss one try. And I was just like, what is wrong with me, man? Why did I waste all that time and anger when I didn't even think around the problem? I guess it's an ego thing at some point. So, yeah. Then again, I also think that there's value in not always trying to find the easiest path. So, I think that I've done myself a number of very, very long-lasting favors by enduring the harder thing. It's a... within reason, I think it's an approach to life that has done pretty well for me. Jesus Christ. The CD fell out of the manual, which is what I was going for. I need to know what DIMM to put my stick of RAM into. I also ordered another one because you can always download more RAM. I thought this is kind of branching off of me thinking I could really shortchange PC specs. And I think I'm being shown the error of my ways. I'm also think I've been shown the error of even trying to just use a PC that's not on a solid state. I am not ready for that shit. I'm better than that. So I think I might have to order a solid state. Yeah, sorry guys. I was not expecting that. It was pretty shocking to me too. What is this? Oh, Sonic, wow. I need to play more Sonic Mania. Tell me about them DIMMs. Let's see here. Installing the memory. Dual channel memory. There are 4 sockets divided into 2 channels, and each has 2 memory circuits for the... Hold on. Single-sided, double-sided. What? Oh. Only one memory is installed. When enabling dual channel mode with 2 or 4 memory modules, or when the memory memory suppressed each of these. Oh, cool. Alright. So let's see here. It's 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. So, does that mean they're next to each other? which is actually really weird. No, they are separate. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of a weird thing. Where like, if you want to use dual channel, the memory has to be in specific slots, and usually they're not right next to each other. That was a really loud sound. Kind of freaked out. I think it's just there's this dumb fucking heatsink on a motherboard chip that like popped because the spring was just locked. Like it hadn't moved recently. So when I get my other stick of RAM, I'll know where to put it. We're good. Who can't afford food? What is this? Yeah, Starving Geek. I hear you, man. If you want to be honest, so I don't know if you guys saw the stream. It's kind of a weird, shorter stream. I was kind of mellow on Sunday because I'd been fucking with this thing all day and not getting the results that I had hoped for or expected. It was just kind of a disappointing day in general. Just doing a lot of house chores and stuff, hoping that this would be the fun thing. Anyway. Wait, I completely forgot where I was going with that. Oh, yes! I remember now. Oh, crap. The, like, power thing is under the hard drive bay. I'll just put this one in first. So the thing on it, one of the things, honestly, that put me in an even worse mood is that I was trying to use this computer on just a single physical hard drive. And it was so slow and, like, stuttery that it was just kind of aggravating. It's like the fucking thing was taunting me. But the way it would just hitch up doing the most basic tasks. So, after a while I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is actually what... This sucks, man. This is how computers were. I remember now. You just had to be patient with everything, because it just took for fucking ever. Nothing was instant. Not a thing. It was all... You had to think. I had to think every fucking time. Every time. So, that kind of would just put me in a default frustrated mood. And I was using a... like I showed, this like keyboard trackpad thing, which I think will be fine once I don't have to type a lot, ever. Well, whatever. Once this thing's up and running, it should be very low maintenance. Should be. I need that for the fan. I need you for the CPU power. Yes, y'all. We're gonna fit around. Oh fuck, this has a wider one. I know that there are converters for this. I didn't even look. Alright, that's for PCIe. Yep. I don't think I can get enough power in this thing right now. Well, sometimes you don't have to plug in both sides. So here's the problem. This is the kind of older, lower voltage CPU plug. The one on the board is twice as wide. It's 4 pins wide instead of 2. So... I'm pretty sure I remember seeing adapters that'll just take power from this and cram it into that. And sometimes motherboards don't need the full plug just to boot. And I won't need it to boot, but I'll probably need it for the... Well, I did need it for the CPU in the other one, so I might be okay. I'm just looking the old manual here. Sometimes it says, hey, if you just got a 2-pin, just plug it in like that. So I think it'll be okay. Connectors, maybe? Okay. The power connector possesses a foolproof design. Okay. To meet expansion requirements, it is recommended that a power supply can withstand high power consumption to be used. Power supplies used that does not provide the required power can result in an unstable or unbootable system. Well, it says pins. Okay, hold on. If the clip's on top, and it is. So pins 1, 2, 5, and 6. So the ones on the left say only for 2x4 pin 12 volt. So I think I put this in on the right side. Should be fine. If I want to be safe, I guess I plug in both, or I get an adapter. I think that'll work. We'll find out. What's the PC for? Streaming. Wait. The PC is for streaming, unless you're asking what I'm going to be streaming. And in that case, pretty much everything. Oh, somebody's asking about the price? Yeah, for about everything, it's about $100K. Or sorry, $1,000. And that's a lot of money truly to spend on what I am now realizing is a frivolity. I was having only very minor problems with streaming before. This was intended to solve those, but yeah. No, if I'd spent $100,000 on this, there's no way it wouldn't work. That would be entirely untenable. Alright. I guess I'll plug in these assholes now. The nicer cases have little jumpers you just plug everything into, and then you plop the whole thing down onto the board in one nice little brick. But this is a cheap ass case because I was trying to be a cheap ass.
You're listening to Game Music Radio.
This I did so much.
By rpgamers.net.
It's so good. Alright. It's pretty late and that didn't make sense. It's cool, man. Hey man, I've had a long day too. It's alright. What is this? Undertale? Oh! 10,000 spikes? Oh, no, wait, no, it's like 1 million. The like, kind of clicker game? I really like that game. I think I had it on my phone. Man, last great mobile game. Alright, power LED. I might not even want this on. No, I should. That LED's kind of bright, but I can just throw tape on top of it. Alright. Plus is on the left. Hold on, let me rotate this. Yeah. This is a tedious but necessary process. By and large, we're more civilized than this now, but what you gonna do? Alright, speaker lead is left. I've never understood why, I guess to a degree these have started to get standardized, but it's still like positive and negative can be on different ends for some reason. Certain pins will just need to be skipped for no reason. It's really awkward. Chassis intrusion header. Fuck that. Reset switch. Alright. There you are. Left. Maybe it's not. I don't understand. Hard drive activity. Ground is on the right. Two power LEDs. I don't get it. Did they give me two just in case one is 3 and one is 2 wide? Maybe. That was actually pretty considerate of them. Or whatever, we're done with it. Fuck it. Alright. What else we got? Front panel audio, who cares? Front panel, USB, FireWire, who cares? Give me that USB 2. Living like a fucking king. Yeah, bud. Okay, we're getting there. I think that's all the jumper. Oh yeah, I gotta plug the hard drive in, I guess. Where's SATA? Let's see here. Okay. Looks like none of the SATA ports are special in any way, so that's nice. Sometimes they pull that shit. It is all in the fucking corner. Oh, you angled ports. These are shooting off the front for some reason. Wait, where are those? Hold up. Oh, wait. What's giving you anxiety? You guys think I'm gonna drop this? And we're fucking rounding the bases on Portal, aren't we? I can't lie though, man. Portal's such a good game. I should play Portal 2 again, huh? Fuck. Missed that game. Just can't believe... Yeah, the thing is backwards. You're absolutely right, Otter. You are absolutely right, my man. I have no idea why this case is like that, but it totally is. This is the bottom, right? Yeah. Doesn't Jonathan Colton have a cruise now? I can't think of anything that represents the passage of time more than that dude who did the Portal song now has a cruise filled with like scads of 2000 era nerd celebrities. I don't mean any hate by that fucking shit, by the way. There's gonna be a day where I'll be on a boat. Or like, what, a 2010s era nerd celebrity? Z-tier nerd celebrity? I'll be the one like on the PNG that's like one of the smaller names, like I don't even get a picture. I'll just be there. Like they'll be like, "You want a free room?" Be like, "Yeah." Be like, "Cool." You still have to like pay for everything though. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. I'm down with going on a cruise. Sounds good. All right. I'm trying to remember what the PCIe ports are and which one needs what. One's like 16. One's wait. So one's 16, one's 4. I know that there's no advantage to putting something in a faster PCIe port than it requires, right? I'm pretty sure not. I don't think that gets you anything. It's not like it works extra gooder. Because I have a video card now, which is the whole reason I had to switch motherboards. Are you guys ready for the ultimate in graphics processing? The GeForce GT 730, the one fucking piece of shit that cryptocurrency miners haven't swiped off every counter in the... I'm not mad. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, though. Newegg had a 1050 for $150. Best Buy had it for $300. And it wasn't even on the shelf. I had to ask a fucking associate for it. And there wasn't one around, and I was like, I don't want to wait for this. But yes, these are bats on my shirt. I got this shirt in Australia at Dangerfield. Alright. What do you need? Support PCIe 2.0. That's already less than... I'm worried that... So, the other thing that I'm worried about... Oh, Samurai, I'm not using this to make video. Or rather I am, but not video games. Samurai, it's not a processing issue. I'm only getting this because there is a video encoding chip on this card. You can use this card to encode video. And to my knowledge, you can't do that with ATI cards. Otherwise, you know, and also based on what NVIDIA's kind of been doing lately, I wouldn't mind buying some AMD hardware. Doesn't say. This might be too old. Anyway. So, I had a CPU with QuickSync, thinking that would be enough. That would give me the free encoding I need to pull in a 1440p signal. I was fucking wrong. QuickSync can be overloaded, and it was. Yeah, I guess I'll just... I guess I'll put the capture card at the bottom. Because I'm pretty sure that 4K can be in an X4 slot. Yeah, X4, X8. PCIe X4, and I'm pretty sure that's what that one is. 16.4. Yep. I'm pretty sure there's no benefit to putting any card in a slot other than what it absolutely requires. And with video, It's not spiky. It's always the same video stream, so I feel like it makes more sense to put that in the exact space it requires. There's no reason to put it in a bigger hallway. There is a reason for me to find my screwdriver, though. There it is. Okay, there was one screw there. Ugh, how dare you. There was one screw that was there because I need it to, secure the card in the slot. Where'd it go? I'm gonna need another one anyway. Yeah, PC Maintenance Live. How to build a computer without a static mat. Mintship, you're not the first person to bring that up. I honestly think it's a lot of superstition, given that I've been building computers for 20 years and I've never fucking given a shit about static electricity, and I've never had a single thing break. Not one. So, I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I'm gonna find a couple screws. I know I have extras in a bag down there. Putting a GPU in an 8X slot makes almost no difference since only a Titan Volta can completely saturate an X8 PCIe lane. Okay. So the bandwidth scale is just fucking crazy. There's no reason to go nuts. Makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna use the bathroom, take a little break and stuff. So, see you guys in a little bit.
Activities have not yet been written. In others, the laws exist and cyberpunks are squarely outside them. The identities of such individuals must naturally be concealed.
I'm poking around in people's databases. I deal in software. I trade. I don't crack. I'm not that good. But I deal with it, trade with people, and poke around in databases, play with phones. Well, I make free phone calls everywhere. You name it. Europe, Asia, the United States, Cuba. I called Russia once. They didn't like that very much. And I had first started doing it just to call, but now I'll do that so I can reach somebody's database or so I can trade software. It's just, you know, it adds on an extra dimension. So I don't have to pay for the phone call. I'm not paying for the software. I'm not paying to get into their database. So it just, you know, it makes it easier for me, and so I can do it more.
You just do it for the challenge of getting in, because it's like the big game, because the people who own the system, they hire so-called professionals to set up security, so to keep people like us out. So it's a game. You want to see how smart they are. And, you know, if you can beat them at their own game, you get in, you look around. If it's boring, you leave. Generally, most people leave. You know, you have some malicious types who like to go in and screw things up. But, you know, I just do it for the challenge. It's fun.
These kids in the Catskills, they were like 14 and 15 years old. They were into trading software, and they had a computer bulletin board system. And they would put up codes for phreaking to make free phone calls, and people would put up numbers of databases, and somebody put up an AT&T database number. And so one kid who was good with hacking into systems got on, and he got into a menu that he didn't know what it was, and he just started poking around with it, and the next thing he knew, people came to his house, and he didn't know what happened, and they told him that he had moved a satellite. He moved a telecommunications satellite out of orbit, and they all freaked out. I mean, you know, they came to his house going, "You moved the satellite," and, you know, he was like 14 years old, so his parents were like passing out because there were federal agents in his house, and he was shitting bricks, and the federal agents came in, confiscated all his computer equipment, and scared the living daylights out of him, and he thought he was going away to jail for the rest of his life, and he just turned everybody in.
This is a 7-inch black mirror cover ceramic knife. Black mirror cover can reflect the high grade of the knife. The knife is very sharp. Its hardness is higher. In the course of making knife, the skill and experience of the knife making master is also very important. Now, let's test the sharpness of the knife together. It's very simple. First, take a piece of A4 paper, folding it into 3 angles, and then put it standing on the block. Usually, we can see many people use this method to test the knife's sharpness. It can, but in fact...
Let's get back in that shit! What's up, dog? Yeah, I'm actually... most of the way through at this point. The PC build stream part due. Got my case screws, so now I can secure this in its slot. with video stuff, I kind of try to make sure it's centered in the slot. It's sometimes when you're tightening in the screw, it can be just too far up or down in the wells that whenever you try to plug cords in, they won't quite fit, or they'll scrape. That's an annoying thing to deal with. But usually it's not that off. This is Final Fantasy. Is Battle in the Big Bridge? Come on. Oh, Gilgamesh. They added this fight to Final Fantasy XIV, so it was pretty cool. They added like super HD version of the character and a full orchestra playing this song. Although this song is pretty... It's one of those ones that tends to show up in a lot of Final Fantasy games. Hey, there's a bunch of trivia no one asked for. Alright. So, here's the thing. I feel like Elgato has the system requirements for a 4K 60 card on their website, and this does not meet them. But part of me is confused about why. I have this, I think, mistaken concept of how encoders work. To me, I guess it is kind of like a CPU in that if it can hit a certain baseline, then it can do it all the time. So I guess it's just weird to me that encoders aren't explicitly for various formats of media. And maybe they are, but if that's the case, it would be cool to know in an official capacity if this, like, can QuickSync on this given Intel CPU do 1080p 60? Can it or not? Is there a check mark? Because I feel like that's the only thing that matters. And if QuickSync or video encoding is something that does vary by the actual spec of what you're buying, so like, can a faster Intel chip QuickSync encode a video better? Could a $400 i7 do 4K 60 and this cannot? And it's not X264. So I don't know what the deal is. X264 you can throw CPU power at, and that increases your ability to encode video. But I don't even know where there's like information about this either. Aside from just trying to cobble together common sense stuff from what I've experienced and the fact that there are minimum system requirements to use a 4K 60. Oh, alright. Sounds like when my friends talk about cars. Yeah, that makes sense. Like people trying to share information. Man, that's how you learn. Look at this little guy. Look at him. Doesn't even have a fan. Doesn't even have external power. Those things concern me. So it's like, this thing can do in-bank. It can. And for every card I've ever worked on, which admittedly have been higher-end NVIDIA cards, although, now that I think about it, so NVENC, I thought all it did was just accept the video data the video card's spitting out, and then dump it as a video frame, like an encoded video frame. So it's getting the video feed, and then yeah, it's just encoding everyone with an onboard chip. So, I don't know. Will your setup have HDR capabilities? I doubt it, Jacob. For consoles, maybe. I don't... You know what? Maybe for PC, too. It's confusing. I just buy a Ryzen 7 1700 based on all the things people say about its encoding prowess. Can you use Ryzen cards to encode video in OBS? If you can, then I might, I mean, that might be a really good solution. To be frank, if this didn't work, I was going to get a 1050, because that meets Elgato's minimum requirements. But I don't know if you can... I don't know if it can do that. And that's really what I care about. The other thing I was kind of considering is that on the old build, I was also using onboard display. So the computer was also having to work to produce an image for the computer itself. But now with the video card will do that, and QuickSync doesn't have to worry about also producing a display. What's the primary purpose of this build? That's a good question. I guess I didn't... That's not very obvious, is it? This is a streaming PC. So it's got an Elgato card in the back. It can accept HDMI in. So I basically have output running from my PC into this, and then this will be the machine that actually sends the video signal out to the internet. The reason that I did that is there's this quirk with OBS that I've noticed, and that has been corroborated by forum threads, and no one's told me that there's any workaround at all. There's a quirk where, and I've explained this a number of times on stream, so I apologize if this is the 18th millionth time you've heard it, but there's a quirk where if your video card is at 100% capacity, then it will drop frames in OBS. They're called lagged frames, and it's dumb and stupid, and I hate it. So basically it means that in a given stream, like if I'm playing a high-end PC game, the display to my monitor would be really smooth, super high frame rate, great looking. But the stream would get this like really choppy, chunky bullshit. And I don't know, that bugged me. People in chat were repeatedly insisting they didn't really care, but to me it's almost like a hobby to understand this stuff, to min-max at everything. Titan, let's see here, don't you need the 1080 Ti for smooth 4K, or at least the 1080? I don't do 4K, I'm 1440p. 1440p, 144 hertz, which to me is like fucking A+, man. That is so good. And then with that, I would like to record at 1440p 60, just for YouTube uploads, even though that means nothing either. There's a gang of like 2,000 people that tend to watch that stuff, but I don't know why I care. Again, it's just a hobby thing. And then I'd like to spit out 1080p 60 to Twitch. I'm still a little divided on that, because like, what's the difference between 720p 60 and 1080p 60 at 6 bits per second? That's another thing I don't know. I'd like to set it up so I can record a test with both and see. So yeah, that's the idea. And then hopefully use the CPU in this thing to put out an X264 stream. Anyway, I'm gonna throw this into Be Right Back mode, because I think I'm ready to plug this in and try and boot it. And then we get the excitement of, I guess, watching me do nothing while I try to install Windows. I probably won't stream that part. Probably won't. Alright, I'll be back in a minute, guys.
The knife is just like tearing the paper by hand, but not the knife. Any knives can do that. Then, how can we test it a good knife or not? Now, we put the paper standing on the block. Use the knife to cut it, softly and slowly. Okay, look, we can cut the paper so fast and so easy. Amazing! What a good knife!
Let's entertain them. Let's do this. And the challenge was, can I do it? Can I give things to make these people happy? Because I just love them. I love these people up here. I don't just take them for granted. I don't take these avatars. They're not just avatars. That's people I know, and I love them. And I thought, can I really do it? And because nobody else was doing much about it, and I thought, can I really do it? Can I start giving things and they really come, really have fun? And yep, I did. I started giving things, and let's have that dance type thing. You had to learn to dance with these avatars and all this kind of stuff. I just started, let's have a party. Let's do this tonight. Let's start playing music. Let's do this. And they helped me. But like I told you last night in a conversation that wasn't taped, I am only as good as the people that help me. And I had lots of help. And I have good friends. I love those people. And they help me, and they help me. Anytime I give something, that it's a success because they help me. But it was a challenge. Oh yes, it was, to start out something new and start out giving. That's a challenge. That's a big challenge. And like I told you, soon I was considered. They referred to me as a calling card. because wherever I was, they thought, oh, there's going to be fun. They said, baby's there, oh, let's go there. She's going to think of something. And I had to think of something, and that's a challenge, because I had to think of something to keep these people coming in and wanting to have more and fun. And it worked.
Okay, I guess this is moment of truth shit. I'm going to hit the fucking power button and see if it turns on. You're not going to see anything, by the way. It's blue. That's a good sign.